much appreciated, and we humbly thank you here at Team Right Stand. Now let's get into the story today. What do we have in store for you tonight? We've got Pakistan, Khalistan, Balochistan, and of course a lot from Hindustan. First, Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen. Imran Khan, the story about him, his rise and fall, his promise of a Naya Pakistan, and him today trying to do anything and everything possible as far as avoiding arrest is concerned. There is interim relief to Imran Khan from arrest, but it's all happening and it could all culminate to a showdown over the coming weekend, over Saturday and Sunday. How long can he brave it out or brazen it out? Is it a matter of time before it all comes to another for Imran Khan? And can he brush away any blame for the state of Pakistan today? From Naya Pakistan promise to the Kangal Pakistan reality. We will dive into what's the story of Imran Khan. It's been chaos in Lahore. And in fact, they have suspended this chaos. It's in suspended animation, ladies and gentlemen, because there is the Pakistan Super League. There's cricket happening. And they don't want to upset the PSL finals because it will send a wrong message to all those who thought that they can go back and play cricket in Pakistan. So that's why these scenes from Lahore will not be visible over the next 48 hours. But it will all be back on come Saturday. And Saturday is when Imran Khan has promised a massive rally and show of strength in Lahore. Sunday is when the courts have said or delayed or suspended his arrest till. Sunday is when he has promised that he will show up at a court in Islamabad. But till Sunday, will the establishment wait? Will the military give him such a long run? These are all questions that remain. Meanwhile, there is police action which has now been withdrawn, but earlier in the day and last night, such was the police action that Imran Khan sat with an array of tear gas shells in front of him and addressed his supporters. Have a look.
जिनका जीना मरना इस मुल्क में है, हमारे तो कोई बाहर नहीं जाना, मैं तो कोई लंदन नहीं जाना जिस तरह ये सारा टब्बर उठ के चला जाता है। जो उठ के लंदन नहीं चला जाएगा जिसके बाहर डॉलर्स ही पड़े हुए। अल्लाह का करम है कि इन सारी चीजें इनके सामने आ गई हैं और अभी आपको पता चलेगा जब वो देखेंगे कि इन्होंने चोरी की है तोशा खाना से, और इंशाल्लाह वो सामने आ जाएगा। और खुद इंटीरियर मिनिस्टर कह रहा है कि मेरी जान खतरे में है। इंटीरियर मिनिस्ट्री कह रही है कि मेरी जान को खतरा है। एक मेरे ऊपर हमला हो चुका है। मुझे पता है कि जो लोग आज बैठे हुए हैं ये इक्तदार में, जो शहबाज शरीफ और राना सनाउल्लाह, ये ही इन्होंने ही पहला मेरे ऊपर किया था और एक और एजेंसीज के आदमी ने। अब वही पावर में बैठे हैं। मैं एक चीज मांगी कि मुझे सिक्योरिटी दे उधर जाने के लिए, और अगर सिक्योरिटी नहीं दे सकते तो मेरा उधर कर दे केस जिधर मुझे सिक्योरिटी मिलती है।
So Imran Khan making some serious allegations. Earlier he said the army plans to assassinate him. Now he's saying the current government is now planning to assassinate him. He's made these wild allegations that the attack on him at Wazirabad was also deliberate and that it was a plotted assassination that failed and it was done by the military establishment in cahoots with the current government. He has now reiterated those charges. So what are some of the other big charges or allegations that he's made? First charge, Imran Khan is saying, put Imran Khan in jail, finish PTI as part of a London plan, because somebody who's now become all powerful as per Imran Khan, somebody who had to flee the country at the mercy of Imran Khan and the military establishment, Nawaz Sharif, who went because of ill health and is still battling ill health, is controlling everything, and it is his condition that Imran Khan and PTI should be finished if you want me to come back. Charge 2. Bring back Nawaz Sharif and dismiss all the cases against him is also part of the London plan. So who is in London if Nawaz Sharif is the one plotting it? Nawaz Sharif wants all the cases against him dismissed is what Imran Khan has been time and again alleging, and we've put out here at News 18 that those are one of his conditions. But how has Nawaz Sharif suddenly become all-powerful, from a pariah to all-powerful? Charge 3. Nawaz Sharif assured that PTI will be attacked and pulled down. Nawaz Sharif sitting in London is orchestrating all of this. Imran Khan is not responsible for any of this coming to pass. It's all because of that's the charge. Then, under extreme attack, police and Rangers forces openly firing. There are visuals that have come of the police and Lahore Rangers and Lahore police firing, but they're firing tear gas shells. मेरे घर पे shelling हो रही है is what Imran Khan has said. He's not said it's tear gas shells. He said shelling हो रही है. Charge 5. Arrest is mere drama. Real intent is to abduct me and kill me. This is something which Imran Khan has time and again reiterated and said that they want to finish him, do away with him. Charge 6. Gave an undertaking that I will appear in court, but that undertaking wasn't accepted by the DIG. We followed due procedure. We gave an undertaking, give a suspension of arrest till this date. I will produce myself in court, but this was submitted to the DIG who had to submit it to the courts, but the DIG refused to accept it. So why are they doing it is something that he's asked. Now this is even as the cases are piling up against Imran Khan. The first one is the corruption with respect to Tosha Khana. Non-bailable warrant has been issued against him on the Tosha Khana matter, where he is alleged to have pulled out gifts worth millions of rupees, which he's not supposed to take. He's taken it and kept it for himself. Threatening a judge. This is the other one, where there is a criminal charge also, on which there is a non-bailable warrant, which currently stands suspended. Remarks against the poll body chief, that is the Election Commission of Pakistan. It's a bailable warrant, and that warrant also currently stands suspended. Prohibited funding stamp. He's got interim bail on this prohibited funding issue. Attempt to murder. Now in this case of attempt to murder, he's got bail. So these are the cases, some of the cases that are piling up. There are allegations of more than 80 cases, but somewhere at least 14 to 15 strong cases that have been put or levied against Imran Khan across various courts all across Pakistan. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Mr. Salman Haider. Dr. Salman Haider, we know him from the years of the yore as a star singer of the band that is Junoon, but now he's also a close aide of Imran Khan. Very close with him. He was right there with him in Wazirabad also when the attack happened. He's been by his side. Salman Haider ji, namaste. Thank you for speaking with us here at CNN News 18. My first question to you, why is Mr. Imran Khan avoiding the courts? Why is he not adhering to the summons?
Chairman Imran Khan has physically gone to the courts. He has about 80 FIRs, which include blasphemy, terrorism, sedition, murder. These are all fictitious, false, illegal FIRs filed by this illegal government of Shehbaz Sharif. Khan Saab in all Gallup polls is the most popular political leader in Pakistan. Over 75% of the people are with him. In the last 11 months since his regime change, his party, Tehreek-e-Insaf, has won 30 out of 37 elections, by elections. And now, since the Supreme Court has ordered elections to take place in 90 days, which is April 30th, this fascist regime wants to evade elections. They want to eliminate Imran Khan. They have tried all strategies which have failed. This morning, the Lahore High Court has the warrant that they had brought was malafide, and the Lahore High Court has stopped the action.
But it's only a temporary relief. In the meantime, Mr. Imran Khan has come out and issued a video where he shows the tear gas shells that he says I have collected from my backyard. But weren't these tear gas shells in response to the stones pelted by his supporters and the ruckus that was created by PTI cadre at Zama Park?
Human rights organizations, International Human Rights Foundation has said state terrorism in Pakistan to deter democracy is despicable. Pakistan's security establishment is doing everything in its power to remove the most popular leader, Imran Khan, from the scene and avoid elections. The entire world is watching what's happening at Lahore in Zaman Park. I've just received this message from Chairman Imran Khan. I'm his focal person. Salman Ahmed, he sent this message to me with a picture saying, shelling inside Zaman Park. That is the compound that Imran Khan is in Lahore. It's his childhood home. And he says, shelling inside Zaman Park since last night, and bullets fired right in front of me. The security establishment has decided to eliminate Imran Khan. And if you go back to 2022, there were multiple assassination attempts, the most visible one being November 3rd.
So you are saying that these are not just tear gas shells, there are bullets also fired. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has said that it is Imran Khan's misrule that has brought Pak to the doorstep of default and this economic crisis. Do you agree?
The current government of Shehbaz Sharif, along with the security establishment, is trying to evade elections because Imran Khan's party PTI, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, is the largest single party by far on any poll, independent poll. Yesterday's attack was unprovoked because the court, the due process, if followed, Khan Sahib was supposed to appear in court on March 18th, but this was a surprise attack on his home, on his workers. It was the worst sort of state terrorism. They acted illegally and brutally. They did not come to arrest Imran Khan, they want to kill him.
So you are saying that this is an attempt to assassinate him, and this was despite the undertaking that he will present himself in court over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 18th and 19th. We've just got news coming through, quickly going across to that. There is crisis, chaos and anarchy in Pakistan. There is also the unending economic and political and security crisis. This may lead to a failed state, and now the military has said that they are unavailable for election duty in Pakistan. So even as the Supreme Court has said conduct elections in 90 days, that is by the 30th of April, the Election Commission of Pakistan has been informed that the army will not be available for the upcoming elections amid the current situation in the country. The Defence Ministry officials have said that the army is attaching a lot of importance to the primary duties. The security of the borders and the country is its first priority, and due to the current situation prevailing in Pakistan, the Pakistan Army is not available for election duty at this time. Defence Ministry statement also reads that the current economic situation of the country has an effect on the army as well. In case of election duty, the army can be deployed in quick response mode. It is not possible to perform duties in a static mode during elections. On the other hand, Imran Khan has made an impassioned plea to his supporters on his possible arrest, urging them to stand up for their rights and continue the struggle, even if he is arrested or assassinated. Now, after the clashes in Lahore, the president, Arif Alvi, has raised serious questions on the current situation of the country. And he said, I'm deeply saddened by today's events. President Alvi has also gone ahead and said unhealthy revenge politics, poor priorities of the government of a country that should focus on economic misery of the people. Are we destroying the political landscape of Pakistan itself? I'm concerned about safety and dignity of Imran Khan like that of all politicians. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has warned of more burden on the masses in the coming days, as the cash-strapped nation continues to meet tough International Monetary Fund demands to secure the $1.1 billion loan tranche. So, it's all coming down for Pakistan in heaps. Imran Khan issue, price rise issue, military crisis, political crisis, economical crisis, financial doldrums, everything is happening, along with threat of balkanization, with the Balochistan movement, the Sindhu Desh movement, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa trouble. All of this, was this the promise of Naya Pak, ladies and gentlemen? Is this the promise that Imran Khan made when he got elected overwhelmingly? At that time, also allegedly by the support of the military establishment at the cost of Nawaz Sharif, a famed international cricketer and the captain of the Pakistan national cricket team before entering politics. Imran Khan wanted to turn his cricket stardom into a populist political career after leading Pakistan to the victory in the 1992 Cricket World Cup. He then founded the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf party in 1996, but managed limited success in the initial years. PTI lost two elections in 1997 and 2002. They boycotted the 2008 polls because they called them rigged. Later, he spearheaded a political campaign emerging as a major party in the 2013 election. His party emerged as the single largest party in the 2018 elections, and with the help of the military establishment, he formed a coalition government. Imran Khan made great promises during his oath, laying out policies with a vision to build Pakistan as a humanitarian state. Naya Pakistan, he said. Despite his efforts, he failed to revive the moribund Pakistan economy and got caught up in his own rhetoric. His foreign policy decisions became a point of contention. Seeking more independence from the US, he disengaged from the war on terrorism. His shift away from the US and moving closer to China and Russia was polarizing. Opposition parties criticized his anti-corruption drive as one-sided, accusing him of going after his opponents with a vengeance, while turning a blind eye to accusations that swirled around his own cabinet members and close friends. The big blow to Imran's leadership came after Pak army withdrew its support, undercutting the political stability he had enjoyed for most of his tenure. Imran fought with the army over the appointment of the new ISI chief, and it was the army that had helped him become the PM in 2018. The fight with the powerful military establishment paved the way for the opposition parties to mount a no-confidence motion against him. Imran Khan was ousted as Pakistan's Prime Minister after that vote, and there was huge drama around the vote too. He tried to ensure the vote never happened, but it did. Now, his ascent was also directly proportional to his closeness, proximity, bonhomie with Qamar Javed Bajwa. The Pak military was accused of engineering Imran Khan's success story. He became PM with the Pak army and, more importantly, Qamar Javed Bajwa's support. It is said the military helped him win the general elections in July 2018, creating a hybrid regime. With the army's support, Imran survived COVID mishandling, rising debt, failing economy, and he also ensured that Qamar Javed Bajwa got a 3-year extension in 2019. Many believed Imran Khan was ensuring smooth sailing for his government for another 3 years. But then the fallout happened, and it happened soon after. In 2019, General Bajwa was unhappy over Imran Khan's handling of the FATF issue. In the same year, 2019, Bajwa blamed fiscal management for the nation's economic woes. In 2021, Imran Khan was unwilling and held on to the appointment of Nadeem Anjum as the DG-ISI for nearly 3 weeks. In 2022, Imran Khan praised India's foreign policy, praised PM Modi, and called the Indian army as not corrupt. Imran is also accused of mishandling global relations. Now, very recently, Shehbaz Sharif has said that while taking the government on the and swearing in, they knew the situation in the country was bad. And he said, and I quote, "I was elected by all my coalition partners, my colleagues, and I knew that the country was in crisis and was about to go bankrupt. But I didn't know that Imran Khan had backed out of the conditions he had agreed with the IMF." This is what he has said. So Imran Khan today, trying to absolve himself of all blame for the current state of Pakistan financially, how economical with the truth being is it? Is he trying to hide facts there? From Naya Pak to Kangal Pak, let's track the Pakistan economy. 2018, they had a 6.1% GDP. 2019, it was 3.1% of the GDP. 2020, it was 0.9% of the GDP. 2021, 5.7% of the GDP. 2022, 6% of the GDP as per IMF. This was the economy, the growth rate, 6.1%. That's the GDP growth. Now, Pakistani rupee, the rupee plummeted 2019, 154.5 rupees to the US dollar. 2020, 159.7 to the US dollar. 175.8 Pak rupees in 2021 to the US dollar. 182.2 to the US dollar in April 2022. In 2023, it's gone down further by 100 more Pakistani rupees to 282 to the US dollar, and this is till the 14th of March as per the State Bank of Pakistan. The inflation rate, 2019, the inflation rate was at 6.8%. In 2020, it went up to 10.57%. In 2021, it slipped down to 8.9%. In 2022, it was at 12.7% in April when the change in government happened, and it's gone up, ballooned to 31.5% in Feb 2023. This is again as per the State Bank of Pakistan. The debilitating debt crisis 2018. $95.24 billion was the debt exposure. 2019, the exposure goes up to $106.35 billion. 2020, it's $113.01 billion. 2021, it's $122 billion plus. And in 2022, by the end of 2022, it's $130 billion. So between 2020, 113 to 2022, $130 billion as per the State Bank of Pakistan. So look at the state of Pakistan under Imran Khan. It was slipping, sliding already, and it's just hurtling towards an abyss under the current equations and the current regime. All because there was a shift away in the economic policy, because Imran Khan thought he's going to drive the nation in a different direction via his foreign policy. But has it not been gross mismanagement? Think about it, ladies and gentlemen, even as the crisis in Pakistan continues, although there is a temporary pause on what's going to happen with Imran Khan. We got to move on here on The Right Stand. Shifting focus, the Indian consulate in Brisbane was forced to close down temporarily today after Khalistani supporters blocked the entry, raising slogans against Hindus. This happens days after Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's assurance to curb anti-India elements in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself said he had raised the matter and he's got an assurance that the safety, security of the Indian community, Indian diaspora in Australia is of paramount importance. According to the Australian media, slogans were raised against Hindus, calling them supremacists at the consulate, which is located on Swan Road in the Taringa suburb of Brisbane. The Queensland police said it was an unauthorized gathering. Now, 2 attacks within a month. In February, Khalistan sympathizers targeting the Indian consulate. Khalistani flag was hoisted at the consulate. And in March, anti-Hindu slogans raised at the consulate. Entry blocked, the consulate forced to close. They are just getting bolder and bolder, and what is happening as far as the crackdown against these vandals is concerned is a question that remains. This K menace has been on a rise, ladies and gentlemen. January 12th, the BAPS Swaminarayan Temple at Mill Park, Melbourne was attacked. January 16th, Sri Shiva Vishnu Temple, Carrum Downs in Melbourne was attacked. 23rd of January, the ISKCON Temple, Albert Park, Melbourne was attacked. 29th of January, Indian citizens, residents at the Fed Square in Melbourne were attacked. And in Feb 21st of February 2023, Honorary Consul of India, Taringa suburb, Brisbane, has been attacked. Chitat Rai of Australia Today gets us this detail.
On ground, we don't see much change. Today also, they left Khalistani goons to kind of control the whole premises where Indian consulate is situated. And in a way, technically, it was a trespass done by Khalistan supporters, and police could book them and ask them to move on. However, they didn't do so. They let the Khalistan supporters control the whole premises. They were standing right in front of the doors and didn't let anybody to come in or go out. A couple of people inquired, and police quietly told them to move away from the where all this ruckus was happening. So this is kind of very unfortunate. SEO officers, AFP officers, and the local Queensland police officers were present there. Despite that, they were kind of trying to manage the situation. Imagine if this would have happened in Delhi in front of any of the consulate or high commission of Australia or UK or America. I think newspapers will be filled with those pictures, and everyone will be writing about that India is not able to kind of control their people and secure the premises.
Joining us live now is Sri Rajeev Chandrasekhar, the MOS Entrepreneurship, Skill Development, Electronics and Technology. Rajeev ji, namaste. Jai Hind, and thank you for making the time. It's hectic times for you, but it's also a point of concern. The Silicon Valley crash of the banks and what's happening there. in the US seems to have ruffled quite a few feathers, and a lot of startups in India are nervous. What's your message to them?
No, I think it's a little bit more than making a few startups nervous. I think a large number of startups have some sort of direct or indirect connection to the Silicon Valley Bank.
Ji.
And in large part, the worries were among startups who had their deposits in the bank. Before the Sunday clarification from the Fed and the US Treasury and the FDIC, there were deep concerns on whether those deposits, because they were uninsured deposits, would be safe at all, or would they have deep haircuts. And so therefore, before Sunday, there was a genuine concern about solvency. It was not just an issue of liquidity, it was also about solvency for many startups. And there was, of course, the trauma and panic for a 25-year-old or a 28-year-old who didn't sign up for having a bank in the US collapse from under him. So all of that, along with this concern that the deposits would have to take deep haircuts, were the first reaction to this crisis. And I took a lot of calls at that time, a lot of messages at that time. And I said, I will reach out to you and we will speak about this. And when we did get around to engaging on Tuesday, it was clear that the US government and the Fed and the FDIC had agreed that the depositors would not take haircuts and deposits would be made whole. And so therefore the issue moved from solvency and real risk for the existence of many of these startups to one of liquidity. Because now the issue is, while the Silicon Valley Bank and the new management and the government in the US, and the FDIC in particular, have said that the monies will be available, it is not clear how soon or how in tune with the requirements of the startup the money would be available. So I think those were the issues. It is now a liquidity issue rather than a solvency issue. And certainly I can assure you that for many startups, this has come as a rude shock, because for a lot of them, the American banking system in some sense reflects the gold standard in regulation, gold standard in prudence and risk.
Right.
And it turns out actually that the Indian banking system, which has been rebuilt carefully over the last 8 years, 9 years by our Honorable Prime Minister, is actually the gold standard in the global sort of credit markets or the credit global banking system. So I think there is all of that, and therefore there was a separate set of asks on by many startups who wanted to move out of the American banking system and move into the Indian banking system, and what steps we can take to help them with that, etc., etc.
So last update that I got, there are certain startups who have now access to their deposits and they've been able to make complete withdrawals. But what steps is the government going to take to encourage Indian startups to move their deposits into the Indian banking system?
Yeah, so we are today, as we speak, I am summarizing the result of the consultation that we had yesterday and forwarding it to our Honorable Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman ji, who along with the Prime Minister's office were carefully monitoring this issue from the very start. So, I'm very grateful that she really stepped up and showed that we will support, and gave me in a lot of ways a sense of confidence when I went out there and engaged the startups. It was very important to the startups to hear from me that all of government was behind what I was saying and what I was speaking to them. And so therefore that set of suggestions and views and ideas are being forwarded to the Finance Minister by this evening.
Is this a message to those who think and rely on the American banking system and think of it to be the most robust or perhaps most accessible or easy to bank with, despite what happened in 2008, and 15 years later we see a crisis like this? Some European banks are also running in the red.
Look, I think one of the defining characteristics of the banking system that has been carefully and with a lot of hard work and considerable amount of money rebuilt by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is that this is a very prudent banking system. The NPAs by 2024 March are going to reach 4%. So we are a very strong, stable, well-capitalized and prudent banking system. And certainly for startups who want to deposit their the hard-earned money or hard invested money, they look to prudence. They look to strength and stability of the system. And I have certainly tried to do my best in explaining to a lot of the startups that, frankly, in the world as it is today, the Indian banking system is the strongest and the most prudent banking system. And there are, of course, I think there are some genuine concerns on ease of doing business with the banks for startups, getting the required attention that a small startup requires compared to a large corporate. So those are issues that I have summarized, and I have certainly that the Indian banking system can do more to support the startup ecosystem and certainly play a role of replacing this dependence on the American banking system as we have seen for the last few years.
Now, many in this ecosystem, Rajeev ji, and just shifting focus a little to another development, in this startup ecosystem are also on the e-pharma line. So, but this rethink on e-pharmacies, is that not a deterrent to this entire startup atmosphere?
Look, the internet is now increasingly, with India becoming one of the largest connected nations in the world. We have 800 million, 82 crore Indians connected online. And by 25-26, the Prime Minister's vision is that we will have 120 crore Indians online. The diversity of commercial activities on the internet will proliferate. We will continue to expand. But we must understand that for every sector in which there is a new participant on the internet, an online version of a real world activity or a real world business, the sectoral rules, terms and conditions and regulations will certainly apply. And if the health ministry has misgivings about online pharmacies, and there is ample evidence, there are certain online pharmacies that are absolutely violating and dispensing medicines without prescriptions, and then leading to almost an illegal trade in some of these prescription medicines, that there is a need for some certain rules and oversight and scrutiny. So I think that the health ministry will take a call and what is permitted online, what type of online pharmacy activities are permitted, what is the length and breadth and scope of the medicines that can be dispensed online by online pharmacy. So I don't think this is in any way controversial. I think this is a natural consequence of moving something that is real world, which has rules and regulations in the real world, to the cyber world. But the expectation that just because you move to the cyber world, that the real world rules and rules and regulations don't apply is unfortunately false for those who believe that.
So you're saying it's more about regulating the e-pharmas rather than banning them or shutting them altogether. But the AIOCD, that's the physical group with the body, they are planning protests because they believe not enough is being done. So as voice from the government, would you want to say something?
Certainly, Anand, this is not our ministry's remit or an area that I can comment on. And I'm certainly happy to convey whatever is communicated to me to my senior colleague Mansukh Manvia ji, who's absolutely on the ball, efficient health minister, and he certainly is very technologically savvy, and he will certainly look into these issues as they need to be looked into.
Rajeev ji, final 2 or 3 questions, and this is with respect to what's happening in Parliament. As a citizen, I'm waiting to see the future and perhaps the contours of DPDP, debate, discussion in Parliament. But we see a fight between the government and the opposition. It's an apology versus JPC scenario.
No, look, I think, Anand, what Rahul Gandhi did and said in the UK and the lies that he has trotted out there, and look, most of us have observed him. We know that he has a penchant for lies. He usually lies in schools, and that has been his politics for several years. But to go out there and lie blatantly and brazenly about the institutions of India, the judiciary, the media, the parliament, and do so as if he is not accountable, can never be accountable for his lies, and he can never be accountable for defaming these institutions that have been built over years and decades. And it is an absolute shameful irony that this man whose family has lived off the system and have thrived off the system for generations and decades suddenly turns around and is finding everything from the judiciary to the media to the parliament to parliamentarians and the money parliament, everything objectionable and lying brazenly about it. So I think genuinely that this is not a question of a free pass for Rahul Gandhi. He has to apologize. He has to clarify what he said. And certainly I don't think the people of India are in a mood today when so many of us work so hard. There are millions and millions of Indians who go to work every day, work hard to make a better future. The Prime Minister is creating these new opportunities for them to work hard and create a better future. And this man just waltzes in between his 5 foreign trips a month and 6 foreign trips a year and makes these bizarre, absurd and defamatory statements about everything that is precious to all Indians. So I think the issue today is that he really needs to come back to Parliament, shorten his holiday wherever he's spending his holiday, apologize or at least clarify what he said, why he said it. And then all of the business, including the placard waving by the Congress and his colleagues, can be addressed. But certainly today, as a citizen, I speak, not as a minister or as an MP, as a citizen, I believe that this is not something that can go on like this, where this type of defaming countries' institutions is just left unchecked, unaccounted for, or with no accountability for these type of statements.
But somewhere, Rajeev ji, it looks like it's a standoff now. The government has said, till you apologize, we are not going to hear any of your other demands. But the other thing is, they're saying that the government is trying to prop up Rahul Gandhi as the premier opposition voice. And it's also trying to use the same opposition strategy of protest politics to counter this JPC demand.
So look, I think people are deluding themselves that BJP needs to do anything for the 2024 elections other than rely on our Prime Minister's work, his mission, his agenda of development, making sure opportunities are available to every Indian. We are laser focused on that. We don't need a Rahul Gandhi or his antics or his tantrums or his bizarre conduct in any which way to shape our agenda, to articulate or increase our trust between our Prime Minister and the people of India. So I think that is just people who are in the opposition and are in some sense griping or are envious of Rahul Gandhi's sudden notoriety and visibility. Saying that why can't we do the same?
You are helping him.
The answer to that is most of them are dealing with ED cases, and that doesn't make
another charge.
As great copy as going to Cambridge and the House of Lords and saying something bizarre. So perhaps they should understand that that's why Rahul Gandhi is suddenly so much in the news.
Well, we've set up the debate after this break, and I know that you are compelled and you have paucity of time. Rajeev ji, thank you for your time. Always a pleasure speaking with you. So there you go. You have another minister in the government who's turned around and said, Rahul Gandhi must apologize. Anything that the opposition wants will be thought of or considered after that apology. So we take a short break. When we come back, it's a straight face-off. Tehseen Poonawalla and Aparajita Sarangi join us live on this very question. Day 3 of the Sansad Showdown. Who is paralyzing Parliament?
Situation is very serious in nature because of the heightened tension over Black Sea. We have seen in the last 1 year various major skirmishes happening in Black Sea. In one of them, one of the largest naval assets, Moscow of Russia, was drowned. We know the Black Sea is currently being used for grain export from Russia and Ukraine to the other parts of the world. So these are the times when the world will also not like to see any escalation of tension over Black Sea because of various geopolitical and food crisis region. And we'll have to see from here on what explanation or what is the stand of Russia on the whole issue and how to see it further.
Also being joined by our guest, Mr. Pathikrit Payne, who is a security analyst. Mr. Payne, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18. What we want to know is what your take is on this entire incident that's unfolding between the United States and Russia over the Black Sea.
First of all, the whole conflict that is going on between Ukraine and Russia, apart from the expansion of NATO, one of the key objectives has always been for Russia to control Black Sea. So whatever is happening now, dominance of the Black Sea is very important because that gives access to Russia to Mediterranean Sea. And number two, a very important point is this: the manner in which the Ukraine-Russia conflict has unfolded over the last 1 year, the manner in which the Western countries led by United States and Western Europe through NATO has been supplying weapons to Ukraine, the manner in which United States have been increasing its surveillance in the Black Sea and other areas, the manner in which U.S. weapon systems are being deployed by Ukraine. Someday or the other, these incidents would have happened. It was inevitable that someday such kind of clash would happen. I don't think it was an accident. It was a warning by Russia that if you cross the limits, there are Rubicons, which if you cross, then there will be consequences, there will be action, and this is the outcome. Now, when you have a Black Sea region where, United States literally has nothing to do in that region, when you have an MQ-9, unmanned vehicle, which has very strong surveillance capacities, and even they are armed to a great extent, when that kind of a thing is moving around in Black Sea in the vicinity of Russia, there would be reaction. Whether the reaction is justified or not, that's another issue. But I think United States would have reacted and would react the very same way if in the coastal areas of United States, Russian drones loiter around. So the reality is this: today, as things happen are unfolding in that region, and the manner in which West keeps on fueling the war, a situation might arise where the conflict would move beyond the contours of Ukraine and Russia and would have a spillover effect either on the seas or in the land area of other European countries, and it would be an apocalypse waiting to happen, which will be beyond the control of United States. So I think it's better just stop it right now, what is happening. Otherwise, 2023 will be a very bad affair when it comes to conflicts of the world.
A United States Reaper drone and 2 Russian Su-27 aircraft were flying in international waters over the Black Sea when, according to the United States military, one of the Russian jets flew in front of and dumped fuel on the unmanned drone. Now, the aircraft then reportedly hit the propeller of the drone, prompting U.S. forces to bring down the MQ-9 drone down in international waters, that is the Black Sea, remember. Now, the collision took place shortly after 7 a.m. Central European time on Tuesday, which is roughly 11:30 a.m. India time. Now, the incident marks the first time that Russian and U.S. military aircraft have come into direct physical contact since Russia launched its invasion of Ukraine just over a year ago, and is likely to increase tensions between the two nations.
What we saw, again, were fighter aircraft dumping fuel in front of this UAV and then getting so close to the aircraft that it actually damaged the propeller on the MQ-9. We assess that it likely caused some damage to the Russian aircraft as well. The Russian aircraft did land. I'm not going to go into where they landed. But again, it's just demonstrative of very unprofessional, unsafe airmanship on the part of these pilots. Because of the damage, we were
It is shameful that Rahul Gandhi, instead of coming to Parliament and apologizing for his undemocratic, seeks to be absent from Parliament.
सरकार हमको विजय चौक के पास भी नहीं जाने दे रही और रोक लिए है।
माननीय सदस्यगण, if you block my work, I'll block you using the same strategy. If you are not going to allow Parliament to function, we will ensure that you do not function in terms of your protest. You'll have to take it outside Parliament. Who's paralyzing Parliament is a question. If they don't want, both the government and the opposition don't want Parliament to function, why have a session itself is a larger question, ladies and gentlemen. Aparajita Sarangi, national spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. Tehseen Poonawalla, political analyst, with us. On the one hand, the BJP is adamant that Rahul Gandhi must apologize. On the other hand, the opposition under different jhandas and groups have the same placards. So they are sharing placards but not platforms. So that's the current scenario. Aparajita ji, is this what is going to happen in the parliament this time around? So let's not transact any business. Let's just disrupt each other.
A very good evening. At the outset, let me tell you that it's the combined responsibility of both the opposition and the ruling party to run the parliament. And as far as Prime Minister Modi's government is concerned, we are very much keen to run the parliament. We are very much keen to have the bills debated and the bills passed. We want good governance, and that is our motto, and we are showing in our work under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi on daily basis. Now, as far as the stalemate in the parliament is concerned, I think 140 crore Indians know why this has happened. See, this is the question of the dignity of the country, no less than that. Nobody can go to the foreign soil and speak against the country and its highly reputed institutions in such a manner. And I think whatever Rahul Gandhi said in Cambridge University and in London speak of the culture of the Congress. See, it's the anti-India thought process of the Congress that has been reflected. Now, we are reminded of the behavior of Salman Khurshid and Manishankar Iyer when they had gone to Pakistan. The same kind of behavior. They wanted the help of Pakistan to actually bring down the government of Prime Minister Modi post 26th May 2014. So I think at this juncture, it was the duty of Mr. Kharge and Madam Sonia Gandhi to come out into the open and say what they want to say on this particular case. They should have admonished the gentleman.
But that's that's the BJP's point of view, or your point of view, or the government's point of view. From the Congress's point of view, they have come out and said they don't think Rahul Gandhi has said anything wrong and he doesn't owe anybody an apology. Tehseen Poonawalla.
Thank you, Anand. Two things. The most honorable member of parliament perhaps does not remember Srimati Sushma Swaraji, the late Sushma Swaraji, who in September 2012, I just checked again, said that the onus of running parliament is that of the government. Nor does she remember the late Arun Jaitley ji, who said in August 2012, standing outside parliament, perhaps Anand, you must have covered him, that the onus of running parliament is that of the government. It is the opposition's duty to not allow the government to escape. They don't remember that. They only remember that India started after 2014. They don't remember their own leaders. The House belongs to the opposition. The onus of running of that is of the government. That's been our tradition. Traditions will be changed. Shri Rahul Gandhi owns nobody an explanation. These are all escapist tactics only because they don't want a JPC. While the 2G was being investigated by the Supreme Court, there was a JPC. Every time the opposition has asked for a JPC, whether it's BOPOs or 2G, they have got a JPC. Why are they so scared of a JPC? What is it that they want to protect, and who is it that they want to protect? Who is the corrupt that they want to protect? That the Chor government is machawing shore.
Now, Aparajita Sarangi, would you want to respond to that?
Of course, I will like to respond here. See, there are 3 petitions in the Supreme Court as far as this organization is concerned and the gentleman is concerned. And the Supreme Court asked the government whether there should be an expert committee and what would be the opinion of the government. We said yes to it. We want an expert committee to look into the matter and come out with a report. So I think here is a government which is highly transparent, which has nothing to hide. There are no skeletons in the cupboard. The Supreme Court has ordered that there should be an expert committee, and there is an expert committee, so let them do their job. I think the Congress people know very well that the matter is sub judice. When there are 3 petitions in the Supreme Court, I don't think it should be an issue in the Parliament and again, reiterating the demand for JPC. This is absolutely ridiculous at this juncture. So I think the Congress must actually get into the matter and must ask the gentleman to come and apologize on the floor of the House. He owes an apology to the entire nation after his bizarre conduct in London. How can you speak in such a vein against our country? And it's not just, country, it's 140 crore people. It's our dignity. So I think it's high time that Rahul Gandhi came from his holiday abroad and came to the Parliament and kind of offered his apology. And I must say that he should try to improve his attendance in the Lok Sabha. I'm a member of Parliament. Every day it's my duty to go to the Parliament when it is in session. Now here is the data with me. As far as the attendance is concerned, Rahul Gandhi registers just only 52%. The national average of attendance of MPs in the 17th Lok Sabha is 79%. And let me talk about the state of Kerala MPs. The average in the state of Kerala MPs is 84%. And Rahul Gandhi stands as 52%. Now every day there are debates on various issues in the Parliament.
Congress MP from Wayanad, Rahul Gandhi has a poor attendance. You are alleging that he has insulted the country, he has insulted Parliament and also the constitutional bodies, including the judiciary and the central agencies. Now, are you demanding an explanation or an apology? To demand an explanation, do you need to disrupt Parliament?
We demand an apology.
You are also demanding an apology.
Not at all. We demand an apology. Nothing short of an apology. In fact, we have been reiterating this all through.
Now, in this case, if Mr. Rahul Gandhi is not going to clarify what he went and projected about his country, the Parliament and its institutions abroad, why should the government listen to anything that the opposition has to say, Tehseen Poonawalla?
First of all, again to fact check, the 2G matter was sub judice in the most honorable courts. The most honorable Supreme Court took cognizance and a court-monitored inquiry, not just an expert committee. Yet JPC was constituted. That has been the process of this country. Same with Bofors. I can keep repeating. Just because you keep repeating something gone to the Supreme Court doesn't make it a fact. History is testament to what I'm saying. Point number 2, Mr. Rahul Gandhi owes nobody an apology for what he said in London. If anybody owes an apology to this great nation, it is the most honorable Prime Minister who said, and I quote him, that Indians were not proud to be Indians before he became Prime Minister in 2014, who said that he's cleaning the kachra of 60 years, taking a dig at opposition, who said that secular people like you and me, Anand, would our stomachs would pain when he would gift the Holy Gita to somebody. It is the Prime Minister who's demeaned this country as Prime Minister, walking off while the national anthem was playing until a security guard had to grab him by the hand and pull him back. Those visuals are there. He needs to apologize to the country. Let me just make one fact check out here.
Yeah, one minute. Just you're firing off a lot of bullets, and some of those are again political accusations, Tehseen Poonawalla. Because the Prime Minister said at that time that the weight of the passport, the Indian passport, the prestige on the Indian passport, before 2014 and after 2014, there was a perceptive difference, and there has been a perceptive difference based on his leadership. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and also the Kachra of 60 years, he's taken a political jibe, not a jibe at the country itself. But certain utterances, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is very well within his rights as a parliamentarian, as a leader of the Congress party, to take jibes at the current establishment, the Prime Minister and the leadership itself and the government itself. But has he made statements that are derogatory towards our country? Has he deliberately pointed at people and told them that you are in danger in the country, and has that claim devoid of facts? Has he gone there and made claims which cannot be proven, or he has not backed them with proof and facts? By doing so, has he shown the country in poor light? He can show a party in poor light, a leader in poor light, it's his right, but if he shows a country in poor light, then should that not be questioned? Tell us, Ms. Aparajita Sarangi ji, which are the instances which you believe, which are the instances which you believe that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has shown the country in poor light. What he says about the BJP is his opinion. What he says about the government and governance is his opinion.
See, he hates Prime Minister Modi, it's for sure. There is no problem. He's in the opposition. He has started hating our Prime Minister because of his popularity maybe, and because of his good work maybe, and because he knows what's coming in 2024. But while trying to hate, or rather expressing his hatred for Prime Minister Modi, he has started expressing his hatred for the country. Whatever he spoke was actually anti-national, if I can say. I don't think I'm wrong. He said Europe and America should intervene in the internal matters of India. Now, which well-thinking Indian would endorse this kind of statement? Now, please, I think it is not because Mr. Poonawalla is on the other side of the table, he should say something else. He should actually talk to his conscience and then ask whether he has said the right thing. The gentleman has said the right thing. Now, as far as the JPC is concerned, now let me tell you, as I said, I would reiterate, the matter is sub judice. They had gone to the Supreme Court in case of Pegasus, Rafale, Central Vista, then of course the demonetization issue, and everywhere they had to bite the dust. I'm sure here also they would bite the dust. But till the matter is there, I don't think they should be asking for JPC. There is absolutely no meaning to it. The matter is sub judice. And as far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, if he's in India, or he is in India but he's suffering from jet lag, I wish him good luck. 1 or 2 days after, he should come to the Lok Sabha and he should apologize. And as you said, whatever he wants to say, it's not a question of apology alone. He may be wanting to offer an explanation. Let him come and offer an explanation.
But till then, will you not allow Parliament to function? No. But till then, will you not allow Parliament to function? Till the time, if there is a matter that is subject,
we want Parliament to function.
Okay, but Parliament is not functioning right now.
We want Parliament to function. We have
very quickly.
We have good number of bills to be passed.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Very quick points because you're short on time. India's passport ranking was 76 when the most honorable Prime Minister in 2014 took charge. Today, India's passport ranking has come down to 87. In Pegasus, the most honorable Supreme Court said that the government did not cooperate with the most honorable Supreme Court. That's no clean chit, but I want to make substantive points. If the most honorable MP thinks Sri Rahul Gandhi has been seditious, file a case against him. But I think what was seditious is when the most honorable Prime Minister in Gujarat said that a former Prime Minister, a former Vice President of India, and former Army Chief were conspiring to topple his government along with Pakistan and had to apologize in Parliament. I think what was seditious was in the most honorable.
Sir, here what is being economical with facts is, sir, the fact that Mr. Rahul Gandhi never gave his phone for an investigation on Pegasus when the court asked for it and a court monitored panel asked for it. But went on international panel and said that he had Pegasus on his phone. I have run out of time. I regret I have run out. I regret I have run out of time today. I have to take a break before we toss or we go across to brass tacks. So I didn't realize that, ladies and gentlemen. So Tehseen Poonawalla, Aparajita Sarangi, thank you very much. Short break, brass tacks follow.
Your take is on this entire incident that's unfolding between the United States and Russia over the Black Sea.
First of all, the whole conflict that is going on between Ukraine and Russia, apart from the expansion of NATO, one of the key objectives has always been for Russia to control Black Sea. So whatever is happening now, dominance of the Black Sea is very important because that gives access to Russia to Mediterranean Sea. And number two, a very important point is this: the manner in which the Ukraine-Russia conflict has unfolded over the last 1 year, the manner in which the Western countries led by United States and Western Europe through NATO has been supplying weapons to Ukraine, the manner in which, United States have been increasing its surveillance in the Black Sea and other areas, the manner in which U.S. weapon systems are being deployed by Ukraine. Someday or the other, these incidents would have happened. It was inevitable that someday such kind of clash would happen. I don't think it was an accident. It was a warning by Russia that if you cross the limits, there are Rubicons, if you cross, then there will be consequences, there will be action, and this is the outcome. Now, when you have a Black Sea region where, United States literally has nothing to do in that region, when you have an MQ-9, unmanned vehicle which has very strong surveillance capacities, and even they are armed to a great extent, when that kind of a thing is moving around in Black Sea in the vicinity of Russia, there would be reaction. Whether the reaction is justified or not, that's another issue. But I think United States would have reacted and would react the very same way if in the coastal areas of United States, Russian drones loiter around. So the reality is this: today, as things happen are unfolding in that region, and the manner in which West keeps on fueling the war, a situation might arise where the conflict would move beyond the contours of Ukraine and Russia and would have a spillover effect either on the seas or in the land area of other European countries, and it would be an apocalypse waiting to happen, which will be beyond the control of United States. So I think it's better they stop it right now, what is happening. Otherwise, 2023 will be a very bad affair when it comes to conflicts of the world.
A United States Reaper drone and 2 Russian Su-27 aircraft were flying in international waters over the Black Sea when, according to the United States military, one of the Russian jets flew in front of and dumped fuel on the unmanned drone. Now, the aircraft then reportedly hit the propeller of the drone, prompting U.S. forces to bring down the MQ-9 drone down in international waters.
Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zaka Jacob. For the third day running, Parliament was a washout today over the issue of Rahul Gandhi apologizing over his comments that he made in London last week. Today, a group of 18 opposition parties, which did not include the TMC and the BRS, tried to march to the ED office, but they were stopped midway. Their complaint is that all the investigations, ED, CBI, IT, etc., are happening against the opposition and not against BJP members. 3 full days of Parliament have been washed out this week, which is the second half of the budget session. It takes, as per a reply in Parliament, 2.5 lakh rupees for every minute, which means more than 10 crore rupees for every single day, assuming Parliament functions for 8 hours a day. No matter what the opposition's demands are, chief of which is that they want a JPC in the Adani matter, is it fair to hold Parliament hostage? We'll have a power-packed panel tonight on Brass Tacks, but first, the story.
Chaos, commotion, confusion. Yet another day when Parliament was reduced to pandemonium. Opposition MPs continued to raise slogans demanding a joint parliamentary probe on the Adani issue. While BJP MPs continued to demand an apology from Congress MP Rahul Gandhi over his remarks against the Modi government in London.
सारे दुनिया के डायस्पोरा से हमको फोन आ रहा है, भारत का अपमान कर रहा है इस सदन के एक नेता और सदस्य राहुल गांधी। सभा की कार्रवाई स्थगित की जाती है।
What followed was repeated adjournments in both houses. The showdown continued outside Parliament as well. 18 opposition parties tried to march to the Enforcement Directorate's office to demand an investigation into the Adani Hindenburg issue.
They plan to march from here till the Enforcement Directorate office and demand that the ED director start a probe into the Adani issue.
But police blocked the MPs from marching all the way from Parliament to the ED office.
आज अदानी के घोटाले के मामले में मेमोरेंडम देने के लिए वो डायरेक्टर से मिलने जा रहे हैं।
अडानी के खिलाफ कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं हो रही है? मोदी जी इंडिया के प्रधानमंत्री हैं या अडानी के प्रधानमंत्री हैं? ये देश जानना चाहता है।
Missing from the opposition's march were BRS and the TMC.
There in the West Bengal, Congress and BJP is together. Therefore, we are not.
While the opposition remains divided, the Congress is busy firefighting BJP's allegations against Rahul Gandhi.
Today, every Indian citizen demands an apology to the Indian Parliament. It is shameful that Rahul Gandhi, instead of coming to Parliament and apologizing for his undemocratic rant against India.
वो राहुल गांधी ट्रोल मंत्रालय की प्रमुख मंत्री हैं और वही काम वो पूरी शिद्दत से, पूरी लगन से करती हैं।
As the war of words intensifies, who is derailing Parliament?
Meanwhile, Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge wrote a letter to the Enforcement Directorate which was signed by 20 opposition parties. The letter basically says that crucial pieces of evidence are being made available in the public domain against the Adani Group. The letter says that the case involves serious and far-reaching charges and that public resources have been misused to benefit a single corporate group. And so the Enforcement Directorate cannot turn away or abdicate its jurisdiction. But not all opposition parties were on the same page when it came to the march to the ED office. There were 18 opposition parties, including the Congress, the DMK, Left parties, Samajwadi Party, JDU, RJD, the Uddhav Thackeray faction of the Shiv Sena, Aam Aadmi Party, who were all part of that protest march. But Mamata Banerjee's TMC and Chandrasekhar Rao's BRS did not participate. This is despite the BRS being one of the signatories to the letter and K. Kavita, one of the BRS leaders, being questioned by the ED. The TMC, of course, did not even sign the letter. But can the Congress actually claim to be the fulcrum of the opposition? Not if the numbers are anything to go by. The party had only a 12% strike rate